Hello. Welcome to the nighttime edition. This is the Until a Baby Cries episode of my 7-day roguelike live development stream. Let's get back to it, shall we? Maybe I should really lean in and do a ASMR version. So I noticed my last stream, my video froze, God knows when, and I just did the whole thing with a single frame. At least it was like a pretty good frame of me pondering, but I'm gonna try to check more and make sure that it's actually running. Yeah. Try to not let my camera do that. The list gets shorter and shorter. This is kind of the ones I'm looking at the most right now. UI, equipment, sound effects. So let's add some UI to the game. I also need to recompile on Windows, but let's go with UI right now. Whoops, okay. We have these things. Let me do something kind of kooky. And what else we have here right at the end? Whoops. Let's say, oh, no, that's under a function comment. Let's not put it there. Let's say self dots. What do you call the thing? Heads up display? What is that called? I mean, HUD might be the closest thing I could think of. Oh, we'll just say like heads up equals mtrpy.frame. And now I need to look up how to do this. Unless there was some test ones around. Oh, there's some in the main menu. That doesn't seem base frame. Is that allowed? Why is that like that? Okay, let's start with this one. Sorry, I'm lazy. So I'm thinking kind of like, is this turned off? Oh boy, if that's still turned on, that's probably eating my battery like crazy. I guess I need to enable sharing. That's 43. Let's go back a little. This is what my brain looks like when I'm doing this crap. Looting things, maybe in a moment. There's the one. Okay, so this is basically what my plan for the whole UI looked like. Well, that's the title screen, but 1024 by 768, that's the native resolution right now. I'm gonna change that one day, but not this game jam. actually no reason why Rogueface couldn't do multiple windows. You could even have like a separate, like a second monitor windowed thing that displays different stuff. Could be pretty cool for a lot of different multiplayer or dungeon type applications, having like character sheets or something. But for now, just looking at this, I kind of want to mirror these positions. So maybe something like x of 10, y of 538 plus 120, 38, 48, 58, 658. So let's call it 660. So we'll say 10, 660 with probably something like 384, don't know, box height. It's 768, so I probably have about 80. That might need moved up a little bit. Fill color equals garish, nightmarish red. A little see-through. And everywhere that we see self.ui.append, we need to also add self.heads-up. Oh, that's what I called it, right? It's got to be the most incredibly boring thing to see me keep doing. What did I name that variable? So append it. Is there anywhere else that we say self.ui.append? Components, yeah, this is in the main menu. And this is the UI append. Yeah, yep. Yeah. Okay, and the reason for that is there is a bug in self.ui, or the MicRogueface UI collection class, that lets you retrieve the length. It lets you remove things by index, but it doesn't let you access the members by index. So you can't check if something is equal to something. So your choices are basically to remember exactly what order you added things in and remove them, but then the order changes. So the workaround I'm doing just for this jam is to dump everything out of it and re-add the things you want, because what I really needed to do here is iterate over the UI collection and remove the grid, specifically the grid which is equal to the main grid. But instead I'm just going to use a parent frame for the heads up stuff, and with this frame I can now add all the children to it, and I won't have to rebuild the UI. I just have to move the root frame over every time I ditch the main UI. So how's my camera doing? Looks like it's still moving. So now let's add some stuff to that heads up. Now for that I want, let's see if I can find all my good icons. Yeah, so there's the hearts and armor ones. So let's just cap, I don't know, I imagine user health might be something like, what did I put for a default? 10 or 20? That's probably too much, like total. So let's maybe do like, 5 of those. And what we'll do is set up sprites and just have them already there, and set their sprite to -1, so they're just transparent and visible and positioned. and from there change them to empty heart when the player has that much max HP, half heart when there's some of it, and whole heart when there's all of it. I'm just going to try to use one half heart is 1 HP. So let's say the user starts with like 6, they'll need at least 3, but that'll grow as they get some upgrades. So let's say, and I don't have to use self here. I'm just going to use a bunch of elements that get added to this. Well, no, it's not true. Anything I need to modify needs to be in a separate variable for that workaround thing I was talking about. A frames collection of children is the same. The same C++ class has the same issue. And what other sprites have we used? Buttons, that's good. Like, I also considered using a grid here, because you can make the grid transparent and then literally just assign the positions. And I'm going to get to some creative uses to that later, but for the time being, I'm going to stick with sprites for the health bar and use the grid more when relative motion between grid squares is a feature you want to use. Big ideas for getting frames to be, or grids rather, to be more robust, to be used for like particle effects and things of that nature that need to actually slide around and have like a kind of separate life of their own, other than the very blocky chessboard-like action that Cryptosokoban focuses on. But all that is like, you know, I had a quick and dirty demo for animations, but it's had some issues with basically later revisions broke the previous animation stuff. I haven't come back to fix it and make it actually fun to use yet. So it's a huge pain right now. But yeah, this is going to be a child, so this is going to have a position of its own. And actually, it could probably just be like 2, 2 for the first one. Well, what I could actually do here is say SY. Button texture. I think we use T for the texture for the main grid. Like in a grid, all the tiles have to come from the same texture, but if you're going to do sprites, you can specify them all individually. Icon is the number, and scale, if it is 80 high, and this is a 16 pack, 2 would be 32. So let's start with 2.0. Well, I mean, it basically makes it the same size as a grid square, right? So for SY in range 2. Oh, I gotta change this. And now I should just be able to use health bar to a 5. Like how many would fit? 40, spacing of 40, 660 as the, no, it's the position, 384. It's like 10 wouldn't fit. 9 halfway. So let's go with 8. And also let me random.choice, and I'm just going to pick 208, 209, 210 as the random ones. Whoa. Okay. And the armor bar is going to be... Oh, I did that completely wrong. It's the X coordinate that needs to change to go left to right. And same coordinates here, but 32 plus 42. And those sprites are going to be 211, 212, 213. And they'll be all jumbled up now for testing purposes, but I want to make sure this is drawing on screen and showing me what I want to see. 8 symbols for health. How it got added? Oh, this gets added beforehand, and I also forgot something, which is self.headsup.children.append. And if that might look better to some, and since this is just like a simple frame, I can literally put it, oh, I'll put it up where the liminal void is, yeah. So the reason for that, I did need a liminal void. I made a 1x1 grid, which the player is spawned onto. This is never shown on screen, it's never even drawn, but I needed a place for the player to, as an entity, self-register themselves so that the player object was available for level generation, which is indicative of weak architecture. But okay, so in init 66, tuple of 3 or 4 integers, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's my bad, because I can't count. My defense, it is night. Only sprite, frame, caption, sprite, and grid can be added to UI collection. Oh, those are let me do it this way. Yeah, can't add a whole list of things. Come to think of it, I wonder if extend works here. Let's see if I get a seg fault or a booyah moment. Yep, I would expect it to have extend. Bug report. So we just do a list comprehension to nowhere. Okay, still says extend though. My bad. Okay, that is a floating user interface. And I'm going to hazard a guess that I could fit I'm going to lower the scale. No, something else I need to do to this thing. Let's give this like kind of grayed out back to it, just to give that kind of subliminal hint that you could get that many more hit points or whatever. Wish these weren't separated, but these are the things you do to yourself. Like I wish these blocks of code weren't separated. What a high energy stream I'm running tonight. Wish I had time to watch other people's 7-day roguelike streams. Okay, overshot there. 10 is actually probably a good target. Because that would be 20 health, exactly like I'm showing. I want that to be aspirational, not the full amount, and that spacing is too high. That's probably what I need to fix here. So let's 10 and 10. And let's actually test that I can make them blank too. Just by changing the sprite. And let me just see here. That would have been 28. Let's go 30. It's 300 wide, plus 2 on each end. So should this... Oh, look at that. There's still these old frames here. I don't want to use that layout from last time. 384. What did that come out to? Let's just see how it looks. I don't mind seeing how it looks. And with a -1, I think I can do a instead of -1, which seems to show like something kind of hideous. Maybe that's actually a block from the tile set. So let's do this a little bit more tight packed. Try to make it exactly 320 pixels long. That's bearable. The armor looks kind of transparent. The heart doesn't. So maybe what I'll put here is, let's make the frame just all the way transparent, and also put a, I actually don't need the frame to like be wider to put text over the end of it. I wanted to make frames clip text, but that's grids do that, but the way they do it is by drawing to a buffer and then blitting a section of the buffer, so it's not like ideal to do that for every single object. And let me also say, snag a caption, position, caption, fonts, color. And again, this position is going to be like relative to the frame there. So it's 320 and 0. This is another like sprite takes X and Y as separate values. Caption takes it as a point, or the arguments to a vector 2f that SFML is providing. So here I got to pick a caption, and it'll be something like HP. I'm just going to say now it's going to default to 10, and defense 0. I'll make the meters match that value in a bit here. Font full color equals. Don't need to hard code that. Could have a whole style file, but I'm much too lazy for that. Never added it as a child. Captions is just a single object. We can add it. I'm going to want some buffer there. Maybe even more than that. And did not mean to make that red. What I can do to make it legible now. Two pixel outline. Give it kind of a gray transparent outline. How does that look? Legible. I'm going to bump that up to 3 and ditch the transparency. Doesn't seem to matter. Yeah, it's a little sharper. Now we've got stat meters. Like, I would like it if the whole thing was a little bit more transparent. Something I would like to be able to do is give transparency to a frame, and all the children on it should have that same transparency. But again, that's like something I would have to specifically implement here. I'm going to crush this rat. Okay. I got a health meter. I got defense meter. Now, oh, go back to that. I wanted to put like a little bar on the side here of the things you have. Not that I'm really going to do much else with it, but the sidebar is going to say stuff like what's in your inventory, and use those little icons for the keyboard to indicate what you got to do to hit stuff. This button, yes, it's spawned on top of the button. Bug. Add it to the list. Okay. I'm gonna have to put this up top because sidebar equals frame, and this one's going to be I don't know. 820. Just off the top of the screen. .200 wide. Even that's a little big, actually. That's how much room is left, though. Let me have a look at it. And height, I imagine a lot. And I believe I was using this blue grayish. Wait, not going to draw anything. You don't add it to the UI. Whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay. That is too wide, and that's not the same grayish sweet button. The color is 96, 96, 160. So we'll borrow that number, and I'm going to make it over a bit more. Okay, that looks not bad. Should give it a drop shadow. Nah, it'll be fine. I do need to line up the stuck button with it. By the way, do I have... How's this look actually? Scaled up a bit. Yeah, I'm going to give it the same shadow. It'll be faker because this one has like the button effect where it moves. So HP and defense down on the bottom left. Get the inventory and your depth on the right here. Something else I need to actually test. Let's go to the I don't remember if sprites have had yeah, it looks like they're using X and Y as separate arguments instead of taking a point as input, so I don't think they've had their init revamped. Let me just say that self dots health bar 4 through the end. Let's say I dot visible equals false. Might have to put it in a walrus operator for running inside of comprehension, but yep, that is definitely missing some words in the middle there. Cannot use assignment expressions with attributes. Let's check C++. Here's the sprite code. So lots of the word offset. Set position, set scale, set texture, set sprite index. Okay, so here's the getters and setters for Python. We have X, Y, scale, sprite number, texture and click. So it's kind of confirmed then I need a blank sprite. What is the size of this sprite sheet? To calculator. So it is 192 pixels wide, or 12 sprites wide, as predicted, because when you load a texture, oh, never mind, it figures it out from the resolution too. So again, you used to have to specify the size of the sprite sheet. So 16 by 16 textures, so and 880 over 16 gives us 55 rows, or columns. No, 12 columns, 55 rows. Yeah, I said that right the first time. Let's say 55 times 12, 660 sprite slots. So 659 should be the very last one, which I guarantee to keep blank. So since we can't set it visible, let's say I dot sprite index equals 659. Is that what I picked? It sure is. And if that worked, cannot use assignment with attribute. How was I doing it before? To the button. To a function that calls button. Sprite number. Dang. Syntax is kicking my butt. Okay, so setting it to get a black bar. So let me go to that initial frame. Heads up says transparency 255. Dang. I wonder why is the armor one a little transparent? Nothing in the sprite about alpha. Oh, maybe because I'm using this wrong. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we've got a technique for making those health bar elements transparent. Now, I've got some sprite numbers for the inventory. Inventory is going to be limited to your left hand, your right hand, and one usable item. Yeah, maybe like 3, but it's just potion. I think potion is the only consumable you can walk away with. Get the other colors of potion. They're just a stat boost at the exact time that you do it. Like when you open the chest. So we got our heads up. Let's start adding stuff to down here. We'll do the get the same guy, caption, that should say same high vis font. Self.sidebar. No need for an underscore. Okay. So I should say level. Have to fix the text, but gotta fix that text too every time it gets changed. And X is going to be like I don't know, just a little bit. You could be methodical about this, but I lost that capability sometime in the afternoon. X and Y, which is going to be another one of these. How tall is this thing? Like 400? Call like and for this it's going to be like 2, 3, 19, 20, 129, 130, 115, 116. Let's not fill it up with potions though. 130, 125. Just some example sprites. Scale. I think I want to do like big. Like let's really make this guy big. Which means I might have to go more like .5 times 16. That might look fine. Let's try it. If the parentheses were closed, right? Yep. Close that and call Right. Let's see if 5 will fit. I just completely don't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So first of all, lower. Second of all, where's the sidebar children? Captions. Outline equals 3. So this needs to be, if the text is going to be up top, we need to give it a margin like 60 or so, and these can be even bigger, which I will love. Okay, now y'all are looking a little fat. Even that, I think I want to go like, by the way, where's the caption? Yeah, that'll do it. Like big, like big. And okay. Maybe not so big. And more space. Let's see how centered they look. More to the left, more space. How did a bat sneak in there? Bat is not supposed to be one of the sprites. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't look half bad. We got the level up top. Oh, it doesn't update yet. Maybe when I update, I need to double check what those captions say. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, a bat. Every time too. That's a little weird. Well, it's choosing 5, but it's just crazy to me that I keep seeing this bat. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this actually needs like a little bit smaller font. Let's see if it complains about that. Of course it is. Size is invalid. So glad it validates everything. Yep, caption dot size after you initialize it. That could stand a fix. Okay, and that's too small. Because I do know it should at least go to double digits. That might pass. Let me just get it updating. So level caption.text should equal whenever we redraw the UI. Jeez, so needy. Like I really am going to have to put all the UI stuff way at the top, just so that it exists at the right time. That's my fault for overloading init so much. Go put you guys right under the other frames. Just keep going. This gets like way too many rats as we go down. You know, if you get past level 100, you deserve to see this. My God, my God. I'll be in here all day cleaning these up. You know, I never did that other fix I meant to do. Just the heaps and heaps of corpses made me think of it. Let's look at entities and enemy entity. When you die, hold on, draw order set to 1. I don't know, that should have done it. But who's to say? It's really not tuned for heaps and heaps of things to climb on top of each other. Now we just need to make these match the items the player has and make loot come out of the chests. And we should be able to actually see some stuff. And probably want to add labels for each of these items, actually. Because I'm going to want to do wand cooldown text under the staffs and plus damage amount under the weapons, or plus defense amount on the armor. So for the defense, it might end up like something like let's see if that actually has room to look nice. Yeah. So like, does that crowd the bottom of the map? A little bit. I have some more pixels. I think I'll just move it down and just accept that it's over top of the game a little bit. But heads up, X, Y, try to move you just like a smidge down. 2 smidges. Okay, that I can accept. Like, it's not that there's never anything that would call for you to a little boring if the level is just the same thing over again. Like, I recognize that there was a difference in the level generation. Like, it was supposed to show that the boulder and the button can be swapped, but I don't think it's actually meaningfully conveyed. Pulling boulders is awesome. I don't know, what is that? I need to make sure whatever that is not like... Yeah, there's no door here. Again, with the overlapping entities. So let's keep fixing stuff. Okay, we got a heads up display, a sidebar. Need to make all the info correct. Let me start writing a list. Which is going to be stat captions. And the text needs to be new line def and how much of it is from equipment. Armor bar and health bar. And this is sprite number. 659 for blank, and you know, like 1/2 icon. And what else we got? Level caption, that one's already doing its thing. And the inventory, which is in Inv Sprites. Same thing. I also need Inv Captions. And Inv Tooltips. So, and maybe that's not exactly the right term for it. Maybe call it like Inv Key Hints. Wonder if maybe I just want to slap those on there after the fact. Now that I've satisfied my jotting, let's try that out. So here's a sidebar. And let's say I need to figure out what these ones are. So position is 512. Nope. Come on. Yeah, so 512 is this row here. Pixel 512 divided by 16 is row 32 times 12, the width of the sheet, equals number 384. So let's try sprite 384. To tell the players to press number 1 or six, 7, 2. What am I missing here? Oh, it's row 42. So 42 times 12. 504. Okay, so this should be by an inventory sprite. We do like 25. 70 plus 95 times 3 plus 95 times I t, and this will be sprite 384 plus I scale. Might be too big of a number, but let me see how that looks. Doesn't work. I didn't add it. Every time. Every time. Oh, and this is going to be in the wrong order, so let's put it on the correct side here. I want to put it on top. Don't plan on modifying them, so I don't need it on self. Okay, so I went one too far. I had a feeling I might do that. Skip the first two. Those are going to be your items. And what's that? 10 in, so kind of wanted them on the whole other side, so what's that? 6 times 16, like 50 more, and yeah, so that's the idea, is that it'll kind of be a tooltip there, or just kind of indicator of what you should do. And it really only should be potions there, but do do I want to save it? Like, if I save that, I can make the tooltip visible at the same time as the consumable. So, yeah, let's do it. Oh, and instead of 384, let's see if I like 504. Oh no, I think I like the dark mode. It matches the gray of the dungeon better. So we've got thingy things on there. Let's try to get some loot for real. So all of these are going to have a value of 659. And what do we got for health bar and stuff? Okay, blank, inventory blank, health bar and armor bar. Let's write a GUI update function. Which I'll just call every time the monsters act. Okay, so we got count defense, and the plus is going to be self.player.calc defense minus self.player.base defense. And let's take that HP. Oh, I think I have a max HP. Entity 6. Self.max HP. I just want to switch it to 10, and that'll really put the fear of God in the players if they can only fight 10 rats without finding a potion if they want to live. Maybe try avoiding things. Okay, so this will be the armor bar and health bar sprites. Let me say for H sprite in self.health bar. Oh, and let's enumerate so sprites. I feel like Hmm. How are you supposed to display it if they have more HP? Like, if they got 9 HP, I would have to show 10 hit points, 5 hearts, but half of it would be empty. So I need like a sprite for not having a full heart available. I think I'm just going to not show the last heart. It's a small nitpick, but it's less than 2. Yeah. Less than 2, you get a completely empty heart, 210, and we do this one at a time. Equals 1, 209. Full heart. Same thing again. Screw it, I'll just say. There's no empty hearts for armor, so just always show the amount. So 211. Calc defense minus I times 2. Full hearts only in this one. $211, $212. No empty armor. It doesn't deplete or anything. By the way, that's the wrong name for it. RMS. $659. Keep it blank. Okay, so that should give me that real display. Inventory sprites, I kind of don't know what it's going to do yet, and I didn't make the captions, so let's for I in I might have to do something weird here. Because if we go to the player, he has equipped. Does he have an inventory? Carry health potions around with you. Shouldn't do any popping, but no reason to risk damaging the data there. So we have those two lists. This would also be the time to set those key hints on and off. How do I get the sprite? Oh, wait a second. I think this entity has sprites that it grabs when you pick it up, which I need to write into the treasure thing. So give a player an equipable. Hands, and if that's 0, it's like a potion. Damage is just melee damage. And sprites. Oh, and something else I want to add here is like score quality. It just basically is like a little tiny plus that I can, if the player's finding stuff for a different class than they want to be. I want them to have some chance to get a boost from it and get a like +1 or +2 added to their item instead of just getting nothing from all the chests. Equipped and inventory. So all these should be an equipable type object. And we're just going to set self-inv sprites I dot sprite number equals item dot sprite. Zero, 1, greater than 1, I -2. So, it's what did I call it? Key hints or something? Let's scroll all the way up and make everyone dizzy for a little bit so I can see what it was. Self.key captions. Zero, 1. Yeah, I -2. Dot. We always need 5 regardless of the contents here. So let's say if this is actually a bad way to do it. Because the player can have consumables and no equipment, or vice versa. You can't count on them being in the sequence that the icons are going to be. If I equals 0, item equals a little janky. So that should get me out of that. Update the icon, assuming there's an item there, of I less than or greater than 1. I do have to figure out inv captions. I think I may even need to create them. But the idea is to have a little bit of blurb I can put under the text. Maybe even change the color of it. Oh, it's 11 p.m. I think I need to wrap it up. Nope. See, key captions, yeah. Caption coordinate. Invalid syntax. Okay, it says X. See those key captions, so wherever we see self.sidebar, time to also call what's it called? UI update? GUI update. How does that work? Level 1. So it looks like my health bar is actually not full. The armor is correctly blank. So what I should actually be able to do to test it a little bit time to wrap it up. But what I can do is say yeah. Now if I go down a level, yeah. So it only updates on going down a level, but I can also do that. Yeah, like that one's actually the empty one, so maybe I got the sprite numbers wrong, but whatever. It's looking good. I'll get this some things in my inventory. Yeah, I'm not going to do it right now. I got to go look up the item format. That was fun. Gonna